Hello. Uh, Excuse me, we'll be starting in a while, waiting for others to join.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
So, hello. Uh, Actually, we are waiting for others to join in a while. Yeah, we'll be starting in a while then.
Yeah,
So
sure, no
Hello, good
our
morning.
stars are already there.
problem.
SOFL stars are already there. So we are just waiting for others to join. Yeah. Okay, so there are a few students who are messaging me that, oh, please, I'll be joining in few minutes. I said, we are about to start in 2 minutes.
Sure, no problem.
Okay. So सबसे पहले सबको नमस्कार. Yeah. Okay. So how do we greet in India? No? We say namaste. Yeah. And Shubh Prabhat for good morning and Guten Morgen in German. Yeah. So
Yeah,
as you all know, SOFL Shimla is the premier institute in Shimla and also a part of Himachal Pradesh, from where many students have already brought laurels to the institute. Yeah, so you both are amongst them. So there are many benefits of learning German, as you are already aware, and which you both are going to highlight, I suppose. And there are also many job opportunities regarding learning the German language within India and also abroad. And you must have noticed that for a couple of last few years, large number of Indian students are learning German for better opportunities in India and abroad. Yeah. So, and there are many skill development programs which are working in India and also a part of Germany. And Germany is already based on, totally skill development project. They actually follow these projects so that people can have smaller industries. They don't go for many big industries. Like, for example, you must be knowing the pencil Faber-Castell, which is originated from Germany. And there are many big products also, Bugatti and also the other cars, Mercedes, Porsche, Volkswagen. Yeah. So actually, these are all skill kind of projects under which the people work. And here also today, so what our students say about SOFL. So meet our German language students, Karthik Chauhan, yeah, who did, with his job 3 levels in 3 months. That's remarkable. I think within India, I haven't seen anybody doing like this. Yeah, it's really a big achievement for SOFL and for Karthik himself as well. And also, I would like to introduce Abhinay Sharma. He's also from Shimla. Both of you are from Shimla, yeah. So Abhinay also scored 100% in Lesen part, no? In Germany itself, and he wrote his examination in Munich only, yeah, and he scored all for online courses. Although Karthik was not with online courses, he was having direct classes in the institute, but due to COVID, I had to move the institute on computer. So in virtual world, we are having classes now, and Abhinay was also part of it, and he scored 100% in Munich. Yeah, in Munich, not only in India but in Munich, and really he brought SOFL's names up. So meet now the stars of SOFL, and now the stage is all yours. So Abhinay, yeah, bitte. Fangen Sie an. Yeah.
Dankeschön, Frau Sharma.
Mhm.
Und yeah, so first of all, I would like to thank Frau Sharma for your kind words and also for inviting me for this webinar. I'm really happy to be able to um share my experiences with the youngsters of Shimla, and I hope I can help them in some way or the other with my experiences. So I would like to start with a brief introduction of mine. So I'm Abhinay Sharma, almost 30-year-old at the moment, and so I just yeah. I mean, if I start from the beginning, I completed my class 10th in 2008 from St. Edward's, Shimla, then class 12th from DAV Lakkad Bazaar, Shimla, and then I did my BTech in Mechanical and Automation Engineering from Amity University, Noida. And afterwards, I worked for 4 years in a manufacturing industry in Gurgaon. And in 2018, I went uh, to Europe for my master program, and I completed my master program in October 2020. And it was an international master program wherein I got the opportunity to study in three of the best universities across Europe. And like my first semester was in Madrid, Spain. My second semester was in Politecnico Milano, Milan, Italy, and my third and final semester was here in Munich, TU Munich. So after completing my master program in October 2020, I realized that language was a very big factor in being successful here, especially here in Germany. And also, I realized that in my background, in my industry, it is all the more important because in manufacturing industries, you need to be able to speak in the local language with the people working on the shop floor. So that is why I realized that I really need to be fluent in German, and I need to like learn fast as well. So I thought that what better than having a teacher from my own hometown, because as we all know that we are really blessed to have like the one of the finest teachers, not like one of the finest but the finest teachers here in Shimla. So I thought if there is an opportunity, then why not? So I contacted Frau Sharma, and even till today, I haven't met Frau Sharma in person, but I just contacted her online, and we started with my A2 level. And within 4 to 5 months, I was able to not only clear A2 but also clear B1 exam, and with really good grades. And right now, I would say like yeah, so the entire 2021, I would say, was a bit difficult in terms of job opportunities here, even here in Germany. So it took me a bit of time, and but I was not. I knew that I wouldn't be successful until I would be able to speak in German. So it was not until I could like attend all my interviews entirely in German that was successful in getting a job in my industry. So yes, in the last 2 3 months, finally uh, uh, I was able to land a job opportunity, and now in January 2022, I would be moving to Austria and to start my new job. So that's all about me at the moment. And now I would like to ask Karthik to share his experiences.
Excuse me. Before sharing his experience, I would like to ask children to ask questions to you related to studies and language. How can they go ahead with that? So I think few of my students had questions regarding that, and their parents are also keen to, you know, learn about something about country and Germany and the benefits, yeah, and the work culture and lifestyle in Germany. Yeah. So please, Karthik, I think there are few students who wants to ask. Please, students, go ahead with the questions. You can switch on your camera as well. and ask questions. Yes. Students, please, who have questions, please ask them. I think, Krishna, you had a lot of questions. So this is the right platform to interact with German language learners. They'll be your best guides. Then you don't need any counselors and you don't have to pay heavy fees for, counseling and all. Yeah.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Yeah, I have a bunch of questions, and first of all, um, I feel very nice to meet two people, and I think we have the same experience of getting this language learned by Frau Sharma. Uh, my first question is, what are your job experiences in Germany, and what is your payroll?
Okay. So I would say job experiences so far is that I haven't actually worked full time until now, and I've been here for about a couple of years, and I haven't worked full time, and I would be starting my first full time job from January onwards. So until then, I mean, in terms of part-time opportunities, there are many, but for that as well, you do need some level of German. And I would recommend that if you are already a bit fluent in terms of conversational, not like you don't need to be correct and everything, even if you are just conversational, there are a lot more opportunities than when you can't speak a word of German. So, and also, there are like part-time job opportunities for students who land here in Germany, and like within a couple of months they can easily land a job because Germany as a country is hugely dependent on students and young people. So even in every field, in like in any kind of job, there are students, and not only students coming from abroad, even the local German people, the local German students, they work and do part-time jobs such as in restaurants, in cafes, in warehouses, and yeah, just about anywhere wherein they can, just. Uh, Apart from studying, they can also manage their finances. So there are opportunities in every field. And in terms of payroll, I would say like a part-time job or something which is like nothing to do with your studies, and let's say in a restaurant or a warehouse or something, would pay, I would say, around 10 to 12 euros per hour. So the wages are on a hourly basis, because as a student you can not work more than 20 hours per week. You're not allowed to work more than that. And so yeah, that's about it, I would say, in terms of part-time jobs. And yeah, the full-time jobs, it is like there are a lot of opportunities, depends upon also your field of study. I think even Karthik could share his experience
Uh,
here.
I have
Yeah,
the
yeah.
same dream of coming to TU Munich. So, how about TU Munich? Did you do engineering from TU Munich?
No,
What
I did my
engineering?
engineering back in India, 2010 to 14, and after that,
Oh,
I I came here for my master program in 2018. Came to Europe, and my master program is in industrial management. So actually, my master program is a bit complicated in terms of the path of reaching TU Munich. So I would suggest, if TU Munich is your dream university, then you directly look for a course of your choice on the website and then directly apply to TU Munich. And as I previously told, I just landed here in TU Munich in my third and fourth semester. So I was not here entirely for my master program.
But for that span of time, how was your experience and
It
how
was
was
really
the
nice.
teaching?
It was really nice. Like TU Munich has definitely one of the best infrastructure, best teachers, and also the best environment in terms of the best students from all around the world. And they take huge pride in their excellence. So I would say definitely a really good experience. I'm really happy to have graduated from one of the best universities across the whole world, I would say, not only Europe or Germany.
Thank you so much. I have a few more questions and I'll prepare them and come up with them.
Sure, sure, sure. No problem.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Kritika, and
Mm,
thank you for being here and sparing your time. So, I would like to ask you, like, what challenges you faced in your entire journey from, India to reaching there? And
mhm.
if you have like gap years, then how you managed to go there?
Okay. Uh, Firstly, addressing the gap years issue, I would say I didn't have any gap years until now. Uh, from 2015 to 18, I was working and I just resigned when I was almost about to receive my visa. So I didn't have any gap years. 2018 to 20, I had my master program, and then I would say 2021 would be I would consider a gap year. But yeah,
Okay, so
in
I'm
that time
asking
period
like,
as well, I was just trying to prepare myself for the next step because I felt that German language knowledge and fluency was really important. So I just spent time learning German the entire 2021. And I think because of the pandemic situation across Europe and across the globe, everyone considers and knows that yes, the situation wasn't the best for people who graduated like around this time. And talking about the challenges, I would say uh, challenges, yes, there are always a lot of challenges, especially considering that my master program was a bit complicated in terms of multiple countries. So, firstly, one big challenge was like every 4 months I had to apply for a new visa. That was really kind of difficult and that was too bureaucratic, I would say. And every 4 months preparing all the documents all over again, then lining up for the next visa and then going to the next country and so on. And then another challenge I would say was the language difference. So Spain Spanish, Italy Italian, then Germany, German. So that was also not easy, I would say. And because if you know that you are going to Germany, you can study German and then you can try to get fluent in German. But when you don't know where you would be for your next semester, then you barely have time to, you know, get to know the language and let alone be fluent in it. So because of that, I would say I couldn't even work part time or something in Spain and in Italy because I was barely having any like even conversational knowledge of either of these languages. But luckily, I mean, I have this interest of learning new languages, so I was able to learn a bit of Spanish, a bit of Italian. So, I mean, just about enough to survive and to yeah just survive the 5 6 months that I was there. And yeah, but that is definitely not good enough for you to be able to like let's say get a part-time job or something. So that was another challenge. And yeah, apart from that, I think it was really nice. I mean, challenges are always there. It's always up to you that you have to really enjoy the journey and yeah, do your best.
okay, so my main focus was for the gap years. Like, if you know someone or, if any of your friends have been through that,
Hmm.
or you could share about it. Because,
Yes.
like, after my graduation, I had a couple of years, like I wasn't working, but now I'm working, so I'm planning to apply. So I just want to know how to, cope up with those gap years.
Mhm.
Abhinay, if you give me a minute, because I had an experience with the gap years,
Okay. Yeah.
so maybe I can help you better. After my 12th standard, I had a gap year. I started preparation for IIT exams, like most of the students do. So that
Right.
was one of the gap year. So, and after my graduation also, I worked for a while. Then I had a gap year again for 6 months or so. The good thing with the German education system, I would tell you that is that it's not important for them. You had a gap year, or it means that you did nothing. You need to explain if you learned something. Maybe you helped in a business with your family. Maybe you learned a new language. Maybe you explored India. Maybe you learned something about Germany, US, or something that you were really interested into. Maybe new programming language. So if you are able to explain that, and it shows in your credentials, it doesn't matter. So don't put a lot of hype about gap year. It's not that important here in Germany,
Okay.
actually. Yeah,
I
Thank you
would
so
I would say
much.
like
that.
to add on a
Thank
little
you.
here. Very, very, very good and important point mentioned here by Karthik. And I would say that the gap here, in terms of, let's say, in your documents or in your CV or something, it's better that you show there. I mean, if you did something, you just mention it over there that in that year, because otherwise it just makes things a bit complicated for them to understand. And then when they don't understand it, then they don't like it. Then there is a chance that your profile might get rejected when they don't understand it. But when they see that, okay, this year you were doing this, I mean, regardless of what it is, like he mentioned, that even if it is like you were traveling around, that's it. I mean, yeah, uh, this is a very popular concept here across Europe, I would say. I don't know if I don't think in India we know a lot about it. There is this thing called au pair. So
Yep.
the local students here in Germany, across Europe, even across US and Latin America, I would say, what they do is when they don't know what they want to do in the future, when they don't have a clarity of ideas in their mind, they just opt for a year of au pair, and it is a regulated system. So they go to a different country and they live with a guest family over there, and they just gather experiences in life, and then within that time period, let's say 6 months or a year, they explore new opportunities, explore new interests, and then after that they pursue their education, like their bachelor program or their master program or whatever. So this is completely normal here, and they consider it really nice that, okay, even if you had a gap year, even if you took time out of this chain of education and profession and everything, and you really thought about what you want to do in life or whatever, like, but you just have to be really specific about it. You have to tell them that, okay, this is what you were doing during those years, and then it is completely fine.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay.
I have a question to both of you. Do you ever think of coming back to India, and why is that? Like my
Karthik.
major question is,
Maybe
my
Abhinay, you
major
would like to
question.
start? For me, yeah, I think every day. It's not only because of you say like you get a good paycheck here or good life, so to say. Maybe it depends upon perspective to perspective and upon an individual. So yeah, you may not want to go back. You may like the life here. It could be different for Abhinay, for other students. So with the life and with the experience after your studies, while you will be studying here, you are away from home. you'll need to experience all those things. Only then one can decide for himself or herself. So for me, yes, yeah.
For me, I would say that yes, I agree with Karthik here that it depends on person to person and upon your experiences, upon various factors that are sometimes not even under your control. So, for me, I would say I never intend to like just settle down here in Europe. What is for me really important is that after having a really nice experience with my master program, I also have to definitely work here for a good period of time so that I have a lot of experiences working here in Europe, in Germany, and I would say I'm open to working anywhere across Europe, so open to any new experience, and regardless of what country it is, Germany, Austria, Switzerland, even other Scandinavian countries or wherever I land. So I am open to all these opportunities, and in future I'm also open to returning to India, and because once when you are abroad, you do realize that you are really blessed to be to come from Shimla, and you really want to actually go back as well. A part
Yeah.
of you always resides in Shimla, so yes, I would want to come back to Shimla as well, and I mean, but depends on how things shape up in the next few years.
Okay.
Uh,
Thank you.
uh, let's say let's say you confirm that you're coming back to India. Now, what are your opportunities here in India?
Opportunities depends upon a lot of things. I would say it is a combination of what you have done so far, like in terms of your education qualifications, in terms of your professional experiences, in terms of your personal experiences as well, that you have gathered across in India and then here in Europe. And then you have a really wide perspective of how things function in India and how things function in Europe. So when you come back to India, you come with a very nice approach to things, a new approach to things, a new way of thinking. And then I would say the opportunities are not only limited to like getting another job in India, which I'm sure you would get because after having so many experiences, such a good level of education, I don't think that would be a problem. But then when you come back to India, you can also think about being entrepreneurial. So I mean, after having so many experiences, things get better. You have a clarity of thoughts. You can venture in that direction as well.
So thank you so much, Abhinay, for, upgrading their mind skills. Of course, and I would like to invite Karthik Chauhan. Would you like to say anything else, Karthik?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I would like to give a little bit information about my background. So, first of all, uh, my name is Karthik, as you all know. So, I come from a we call it Tehsil Chowpal from district Shimla. So, from a very I've studied most of my period in Hatkoti, and that's also in like Tehsil Jubbal in Shimla. Then I did my engineering bachelor's in civil engineering. Then I worked for Atal Rotang Tunnel, which you all might know. Then I worked for quite a period of time also in Shimla while learning the language. Now, after that, I was more interested into sustainable development and studies related to environmental engineering. So I'm doing Umwelt und Ressourcen Management. This say environmental and resource management. That's in BTU Corpus. So that was my background, and after that, one of the good things that I did while working in Shimla was that I joined SOFL, and it was in 2018, 1st of November, as I clearly remember. So after that, maybe in 3 months or half, including the period of exam. I was able to complete my B1, and more than that, while learning the language, I got to experience to learn a lot of experience from Frau Sharma, because she has already been in Germany. She knows the culture and very good command over language, which helps you obviously to learn the basic stuff in German language. Even she can like help you to get that understanding in your mother tongue, which is maybe not possible here in Germany as much as I have experienced till now. So in a small town like Shimla, I would say it is a big advantage. And another thing is the learning language is something that I feel if you learn as early as in life, it's always good. So if you are in school and if you are still in your bachelor's, this is the best time, and it opens your mind to a new culture, and a new language gives you a different way of thinking. And in SOFL Shimla, it was not only the language, it was also about the culture. We learned everything from the basics, how this whole part of the continent of Europe, Germany, Austria, Switzerland, everything, how the education system works, how the life work, how is the work culture. So all these things we got to know from Frau Sharma and from SOFL Shimla. So that was my brief introduction and my experience with SOFL Shimla.
So, any questions,
Yeah,
dear
any questions, please?
students? Gibt es noch Fragen?
Yeah.
Hi, yeah, so I would like to ask one thing. Why you people chose, just Germany or Europe, like no other country, maybe Canada? You could have gone to Canada as well for your master's program, or Australia, or UK.
So I would start. For me, it was more about because I was, as you know, we all speak English and we are all familiar with student going to US and all this. For
Right.
me, the first idea was to learn a new language. So when I started, it was not about studying masters. So it was a little different, maybe from the idea, the way most of the students start. So I was working and I thought to add some more skills to my life, and I somehow got to know that there is a premier institute in Shimla, and I was in Shimla. So I started language, and while learning the language, I got so many information that I thought I didn't even knew before that I want to do the masters. So when you learn the language, it opens your scope for US, UK, and Australia, Canada, because Germans are everywhere. They are good in their technology. They are good everywhere. So I thought if you want to have a master's, why not start from Germany? You can go anywhere where you want to be in your life later. So that was for me.
And for me, it was a bit like I would say the other way around. I was working in Gurgaon for about 4 years, and I thought the time is now like it's the right time for me to start for my master program. Otherwise, I won't be able to ever pursue a master program. So I wanted to pursue my master program in kind of my industry and my background, like further just extend it further. So, as I told, I had my bachelor in mechanical engineering, and then I was working in a manufacturing industry. So I wanted to do something in terms of industrial management, and while applying for different courses, I found this course which I thought would not only help me with the technical aspects of the master program in terms of the learning, but also a huge variety of experiences across like the best universities across Europe. So that's why I chose this program. And about not going to US or UK, I would say a couple of reasons. First thing is that US, UK are really expensive, and also they are not one of the like the friendliest in terms of welcoming the foreign students and offering like opportunities or support in terms of their further career development. So they are also fine if you just come and do your master program and then go back to your country. Whereas Germany as a country, I have seen that they really want uh, good, educated, talented people, young people, a lot of young people to come here, study here for free, and also explore all the opportunities, and then also contribute here to the economy here in Germany. So that is why they are a lot more friendly. And apart from that, I would say I had no fear of learning a new language or like starting completely new with a new language or something. So that is why for many people it is also so that they don't want to come to Europe because of this fear of learning a new language. So if I would say if you are not afraid of learning a new language, then Europe is not that difficult for you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Anybody has any other question?
I have one more question. After completion of your master's, how much time does it takes to search for a job?
Mhm. It is a very interesting question, as well as I mean, it again is not same for everyone. There are many people I know who just got their job while they were still studying. So there is this concept of working student here in Germany, wherein a student is allowed to work 20 hours per week. So those 20 hours per week, he can either do any job, like whatever it is, no matter how unrelated it is to your studies, any job. And apart from that, you can also in your industry, for example, you are from IT background, you are doing your master program in informatics here in Germany. So at that same time, you can also work in companies, in proper companies as a working student. So that's a position here and it's only here in Germany, a proper position called working student. So you start as a working student, you are given important projects, you are working in a team full of international people, students, senior people, everyone, and you gather experiences. And I know many students who, before even graduating, they had an offer from the same company that, okay, after you graduate, you just join us as a full-time employee. So, and it also, I would say, depends a lot upon your field of study. And German language as well, I would say, plays a part, a huge part. For example, in my field of study, in mechanical engineering, in manufacturing industries, you definitely need to be fluent in German. So I was not able to land a job until I was fluent in German. I was able to attend interviews in German. I was able to convince the people in front of me that, okay, even if I start working in a manufacturing environment on the shop floor, I can interact with the local people in their local language. So that is why it took me a lot of time. It took me almost a year. But at the same time, it's all about being confident on your skill set. I knew that, okay, from my skill set, from my experiences back from India as well, I had everything to get a job, but I need to improve my German skills. So I totally focused on improving my German skills, and that was it. That's what took time for me. But it nowhere it would be the same for anyone else.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I would like to add on that because with the language, if you want to get a job, like I had a very good experience. Uh, I think almost two months I was here in Germany, and I gave interviews for like 11 companies, and they were all very happy with my language skill because I learned a lot back in SOFL Shimla and with my skills. And all those companies, they had my email ID, and this they mailed me, and they were like ready to give me opportunities after my masters. And right now I'm working as a work student for my university itself, and it's in the department because the universities have a lot of departments and they work on different things. They also need students, and for a student, it is the best opportunity to work in the university, work with the professors, and they work on the different research which are future oriented. Like I'm working on a renewable energy sector these days with one of the chairs in my university. So if you are good with your skills and without German, ohne Deutsch, es gibt nicht. No. So without German language, you cannot expect here from people to give you opportunities because their documentation, their framework, the people with whom you are going to work on the ground, you cannot expect them to speak in English or any other foreign language, as you cannot expect someone in India or in any country to speak in English who's walking on the ground. So you'll have to be the one who needs to upskill yourself, and then there are lots of jobs you are going to find. Yeah.
I
I
would
would
like
So
to.
say
don't
here
worry.
a small
Yeah.
recommendation that having a lot of good digital skills helps a lot.
Yeah.
That's what I've
Sure.
noticed here in my past 2 years. If you have good digital skills, no matter what it is, you can utilize it in terms of creative positions like digital marketing, social media marketing. There are a lot of opportunities in these areas as well. If you have coding skills, the people here,
Program.
yeah, programming, they consider Indians the best in the world. Every company here in Germany, in their IT team it is full of Indian people. That's it. So if you are from that area, there is no limitation on in terms of the opportunities you can get. A lot easier. It gets a lot more easier if you also have German skills. Then I
Uh,
mean,
and the lack of labor is sure here because I also worked as a part time in a restaurant. So I can see they don't have people to work on restaurants, cafes. So I started my journey from there. So I learned all the skills of a gastronomy, they
yeah.
say, for a restaurant culture. So you learn all these things there, and you can see if you know the language, they need you, and you can help them. You can help yourself, and you can have a good experience overall. So it's yeah, programming, IT, digital, they are all over in the world, but in Germany there are all the fields open for you if you like think little ahead and if you prepare yourself, you can end up somewhere really good.
Yes, definitely. In terms of gastronomy, I would really mention that the students are
Yeah.
always there. I mean, and it's not just that there are only the international students, the local students. This is a very common practice here in Germany that the families they don't stay together after a certain age. So the children they start living independently, let's say after around 17, 18 years of age, and then they even try to manage their own finances. So there is this. They definitely the gastronomy sector here in Germany, across Europe, I would say they really need a lot of young people, and that is where the students come into play, and they really work uh, like not only the international but also the locals. They work everywhere. They do all kinds of things, but it is a very important skill set that they develop. They get to manage their own finances. So quite different, I would say, to what it is in India.
Yep.
Like, if you're a working professional in India, right? So is it good for you to apply for masters over there, or you can even find a job in Germany?
You can even find a job. I mean, also depends a lot upon your field of study. I mean, may I ask you what your field of study is at the moment? Maybe I
Profession
would
on your
be advice better.
I am presently working in a design agency as a web developer, but
Okay.
I'm into project management now. Like, I'm being promoted to it.
Mm-hmm.
So will it be good for me to, apply for masters over there or find a job?
Applying for master is also like a personal decision if you want to upgrade your qualifications,
Right.
just for your future as well, in terms of that, okay, right now you have this opportunity, maybe 5 years down the line you might not have it. So that's also another question. Otherwise, I think in your profile you can also easily get a job here in Germany, provided you also have at least a conversational German level. And in terms of German level, I would say A1 and A2 is like a bit, it's not that much. I would say it's better you have at least around A2, B1. B1 would be ideal. More than that would also not, would be a bit difficult, I would say. But I think B1 and all would be good enough to land a job as well. And
Okay.
I think you can get a job from India as well. And there is also this 6 month job seeker visa if you
Right.
uh, look for that. I mean, you can
Mhm.
just land here in Germany 6 months. But I would say those 6 months go by really fast. So it's better if you are really prepared,
Mhm.
prepared with your language, prepared with everything. So, yeah. So that's another
Yeah.
opportunity. I mean, that's another way you can get a job here in Germany. Otherwise, you can just simply apply in German, apply, but it is a bit difficult because they don't get to know you personally
Right.
when you are
Mhm.
so far away. So that's where this job seeker visa helps. That okay, you are there in Germany, you can, anyway, just anytime you can just land up for an interview or something. So
Okay.
yeah, I hope we could answer your query. And
Yes, a lot. You helped us a
still
lot.
have it, free to contact us. Feel free to contact Frau Sharma or contact us. No problem.
So, anybody else?
Yes,
Wish
ma'am,
we
my
discussed
question.
much. Yeah.
So my
Yes, go ahead.
question is, as in India, when you complete your graduation, the companies come to your university and they recruit you. So what happens in Germany? Do you visit the company or they come to you?
So I think I would answer that because I've completed my studies here. I would say that here it's the complete opposite. The companies don't visit you like in terms of recruiting. There are a few career days that universities and companies they together organize. So in those career days, it's not a recruitment event. It's not at all it's not that they will have interviews there itself and then they will hire you and something like that. It's just an event wherein you get to know people from the company and the company gets to know interesting new graduates. So that's the best that they do here in Germany in terms of organizing recruitment. So nothing more than that. They don't invite companies that okay, these are our fresh graduates, please hire them. Nothing at all. It's the opposite. You have to be proactive here. You have to be sending them applications. You have to contact them. You have to use social media platforms like LinkedIn or Zing, which is one here in Germany very popular. And you have to
Steps.
contact the companies. There are many other ways. I mean, as a working student, when you start working, you have to develop your contacts, you have to socialize, and then you get a job. So it's not a very, it's not an organized process. It's a process wherein you have to really act a lot. You have to be proactive. You have to show your best side to your prospective recruiters.
But doesn't that make the job searching process very arduous?
I'm so sorry. Yes, it does. Uh, but at the same time, there are a lot of opportunities as well. And yeah, I mean, for sure, it won't be that you won't get a job or something. So it does make it a lot of effort, I would say, in terms of really preparing your documents, because also the German people here are very particular about their application process, about their documents. You just can't go and hand in your CV and that's it. So for a job that they have posted, you have to be really thorough with your application. All your documents should be complete. For example, a CV, a cover letter, then your transcripts, your degree, your transcripts, your recommendations. They are really, really important. For example, if you're working in India, I personally didn't realize how important they were until I was doing this job search the whole last year. And if you're working right now in India, please, 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 if you think of coming abroad, if you think of coming to Europe or Germany for working, make sure that you have good recommendations on, like, the cover letter of your sorry, on the letterhead of your companies and on your LinkedIn profiles and everywhere. They help a lot. They are really important. So as I said, your whole application process and your documents is like a set of documents. It's not just your CV. So you have to take a lot of efforts, but yeah, you have to be patient as well, because the recruitment process also takes a lot of time. It's not that one day you'll have a couple of interviews and then you are done. Any average recruitment process takes here around 1 to 2 months. Easily, very easily, comfortably 1 to 2 months. So yeah, you have to be patient.
Okay,
So,
thank you. That answers my question. I have one more question. How is family life and lifestyle in Germany as compared to like other developed countries? And what about the permanent residentship?
Family life, as in for international students or for the local people here in Germany?
For international students.
Okay, family life, as in probably settling in after, let's say, you get a job or something, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Family life is completely normal, completely possible. There are a lot of young people here, a lot of young families that have moved here in Germany. So it's either that, let's say, for example, one of the person in a family, they get a job, then the other person can join the spouse on a family reunion visa, and you get it. It's really common, not a problem. There are just those prerequisites which you anyway would fulfill, like decent salary, a decent house. I mean, that they already have the set of regulations that they have, and you just have to ensure that you meet them, and then it's not a problem. And sorry, what was the other part of the question?
I wanted my answer to be collated with like other developed countries.
Okay. Unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to say a lot about other countries because I don't have that much of an experience about other countries. But still, other countries also do allow not the entire family or something, but at least your spouse to join.
Hmm. Okay.
So that's not a problem anywhere across, because they realize that if you are going to stay here long term, if you're going to work here for a long term, you would want your family or at least your spouse to be there. So yeah, it's not a problem. Just takes a bit of time because it will take some time for you to land a job, and then for your spouse to have go through the entire visa application process and stuff. So it can take somewhere around a few months, I would say, but really possible, really common as well. I know a lot of Indian families who have really settled, and when let's say when both of them are here, then even the spouse can work, like even they can find a job for themselves. So it becomes easier for them as well. They don't need any other visa or any other work permit. They can start working in any field. I mean, for starting, they can even start working part-time jobs or something, and after that, yeah, with time they can also get a job in their own field of study.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Seema ma'am.
Good afternoon. Guten Tag.
Guten Tag, Frau Sharma. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to converse with Karthik sir and Abhinay sir. My question was, while we are applying for the German student visa, what type of questions are asked in the interview? Also, I forgot to introduce me. I'm currently a student. I'm studying in the Institute of Hotel Management, Shimla. Yes, sir.
I think Karthik would be able to better answer this question because he would have faced such an interview. Unfortunately, fortunately or unfortunately, I haven't faced this interview because I applied for my German visa in Italy, in Rome. So there they didn't ask any question. So I have no experience regarding this.
Okay. Thank you, Shruti, for your question. I would say it's not very difficult, and the questions that they'll ask would be very normal, very simple. That why you want to study in Germany, why you choose this particular program, and you need to answer them what you expect out of that program after your studies. And there are like simple things or the basic things that I would say. You will find if you research more, you will find how you need to answer all those questions. They also ask if you want to come back to your home country after your education or not, and how you need to answer those questions. You'll easily find the answer those things also. These are like the set of 7 to 8 questions that they put in front of you while you're joining, and they also look at your statement of purpose or letter of motivation. They say letter of motivation, your references, as Abhinay just said, they are very important. So all these documents and then the set of a question, they all are concluded as your visa interview. So not only the questions but also your these set of documents. So just be well prepared with all these things. It's not that difficult, and they are not there to only reject your visa, or they are mostly there to just go through or check once if everything is fine, and it's pretty normal. So all these set of documents and set of 7 to 8 questions that you need to prepare. Yeah, that's it.
Also, sir, which is the most notable university for doctorate in hospitality and tourism?
So for that, I'll tell you, there are you need to, because I come from engineering background, but there are lots of universities which I feel there are mostly these Ausbildungs, like practical related. If you want to do masters, then there would be many. You'll have to go through a search, Google search or DAAD. There is a website of German exchange program, DAAD. You can go through that, and more particularly in these federal state, in 16 federal states of Germany, they have obviously they have 1 or 2 good universities in each field. So if you go through each federal state, and more importantly in which part of the Germany you want to study, so you'll have to go through uh, like for in the west, maybe in the north, in the east where you want to study, then there is a federal state, and then there are, you'll have to see all the universities that they are working under, the public universities obviously, because you don't want to land up yourself in a some private university. So in each federal state they'll have their public university, they'll have more than two, three, four. Some are TU, some are these practical based, where you learn gastronomy or another fields of life, arts, music, and all these things. So if you'll find that, and you'll have to, and the most important thing is you'll have to research on your own. You'll have to prepare all these documents. You'll have to prepare yourself, because they will know. If you'll not prepare yourself, take the help of someone, and you'll not research a lot, they will know. They will obviously know. They want you to uh, you to be aware of all these processes. They want you to be true, whatever you have write, and it shouldn't be any fraud or you have made it from outside somewhere. So go through it, and I'm sure you'll find something of your interest.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
So Abhinay have also written something on meeting chat. I think we want to tell you something. So any other questions? Wie spät ist es in Deutschland? Habt ihr gut gefrühstückt?
Noch nicht, Frau Sharma. Es ist
Noch nicht.
9 Uhr.
Habt
Yeah.
ihr Hunger? Yeah. So must be hungry. Yeah. We are ready for lunch and you are ready for breakfast. Yeah. Abhinay and Karthik. Abhinay, unmute yourself, please. Unmute yourself.
I'm
Abhinay.
sorry. So, yes, Prashant, I mean, it's still not, I mean, the sun is still not out. It's still a bit foggy out today.
Okay.
So, cold and foggy.
And
So
how's the weather? Is it very cold or?
it's getting cold now. It's really getting cold and frosty in the morning. So,
Okay. So nice.
I have one more question.
yes,
Okay. Okay, Krishna, you have so many questions.
no
Good.
problem, no problem.
I hope they
Yeah.
they are not hungry. Karthik
No,
and
no, it's
Abhinay.
okay. It's okay.
Okay, so the last question is, how much your high school grades and semester grades for undergrad matter in the job prospects? Like, do they play a major factor?
Not really, I would say. Not really, I would say. The whole package they consider, like your grades, definitely they do give a lot of importance to grades, but they wouldn't just discard your profile if you had low grades, let's say in your high school. They'll see, okay, how did you manage in your, let's say, in your bachelor program, in your master program, and then what are your other experiences, other skill sets. So they will give a good weightage to end everything. So they'll just not simply discard it based on your high school grades.
And
Okay,
and
so
if you have a very and if you have a very good German language skills, then they will not. B1 or B2, no case. Probably not. With B2 or C1, they don't they want people who want to learn their language. They need young people. So if you are confident to learn all these levels, be well prepared. So be very sure that in any course or in any master program or bachelor's program, they are not going to like discard your application.
It means it's work friendly.
Yeah.
They just
so the
experiences.
recruiters doesn't care about your grades, but what about university where you are thinking of pursuing your master's? Do they see your grades,
Maybe.
like your earlier grades?
If you want to study your masters in English, then they will see your grades. If you have only A1, A2 level of German language and you want to study in a English taught program, then yes, because that's a lot of competition. People from US, UK, Australia, Canada, India, all these English speaking nations, they want to come to Germany. Even I have friends from US, they think like studying in Germany is a advantage for them also. So it's a competition for you if you want to study English course with little less grades and that too without the German language, because there are some courses who require you B2 and they are like dual kind of program. They teach you some courses in English, some in German. One of which I know is in Duisburg, also in Aachen. So there are few Nuremberg, Hamburg also. So you need to be sure what you want to learn. If you have good, not so good grades, then go for B2 or C1 or B1, something as much as you can learn. Otherwise, it could be. Yeah,
Thank you so much.
you're welcome.
So, okay, thank you very much once again, Karthik and Abhinay, for, answering these wonderful questions. And I hope children are also satisfied with that. It's a great interactive session which we had. Really, I really enjoyed and, watched you both speaking so nice. I'm really very proud of you both. And with that note, we conclude here this webinar. And thank you very much for being a part of it, all of you, dear students, and Karthik and Abhin. So
We thank
wishing you
you.
all
See
the
you.
very
Bye-bye.
best in your new
Thank you,
admissions.
Prathama. And yeah, as I also mentioned in the beginning that in case you still have questions, you still have queries, feel free to contact us anywhere,
Yes.
anywhere across our email IDs. I think you might be having them in the emails, in the invite or somewhere. Just feel
Yeah.
free to contact us, not a problem. And yeah, I would be
Yeah.
happy to help.
Yeah.
Same with
That,
me. And if you have questions.
das ist wunderbar. So,
Yeah.
great. So,
Sure.
alles Gute und guten Appetit zum Frühstück, ja?
Vielen Dank.
Gleichfalls. Und schon
Auf
Tag
Wiedersehen.
noch.
Ja? In Hindi we say
Das
fir milenge. So, fir
für
milenge.
mich.
Yeah? And in German it is
Ja.
auf Wiedersehen.
Auf
Auf.
Wiedersehen.
Auf.
So we don't say goodbyes, we say fir milenge.
Ja.
Yeah? So, fir milenge. Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf
Auf
Wiedersehen.
Wiedersehen.
Tschüss.
Tschüss.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
I think she left. No. Bye.
Bye.